Hey guys, recording on my phone today. Didn't have time to get my camera, and just want to get a video out to you because it's been a little bit, and I wanted to wait a little bit to show you what suckers were on tomatoes for vining tomatoes. Did a video at first and realized I wasn't speaking into the microphone, so it kind of failed there. So wanted to redo the video so you could actually hear what I'm talking about, and kind of show you the difference of indeterminate versus determinate tomato plants and how to deal with suckers. So vining tomatoes are exactly as they sound. They're vining tomatoes. I have a trellis system that I've just kind of rudimentally put together, where I spin the tomatoes, as you can see, just up in a spiral as the vine grows. And the suckers, they grow out of the, what I call the armpits of the tomato plant. And I'll show you what those are. So this guy here is a very pronounced sucker that I have neglected to pull off. Because like I said, I wanted to wait a couple days to show you guys. And then I ended up working on projects around the house. And then I ended up traveling for work. And then we ended up going on vacation. So it's been about 2.5 weeks almost since I've done these. So this here is the sucker. What you can see going on is the main stem coming up. And the main stem is actually this guy here, continues up. The sucker is coming out of the armpit of this leaf, coming out here. Main stem is here, and the sucker is coming out of the middle. Usually these get pulled off when they are much smaller, such as this tomato plant right next to it. Here's the sucker right here. Little guy, and then they just snap right off. So what indeterminate tomato plants try to do is grow as much greenery as possible because they want to take in as much sunlight as possible. However, that limits the amount of tomatoes that get produced because it's putting a lot of its energy into actually making more of these main vines. Because you'll see a leaf comes off and it's just a leaf bunch, nothing else. Your tomato vine that comes off, most of the time, is just tomatoes. Sometimes, I found one earlier, you'll have a tomato vine that comes off, and then at the end of it there's a little sucker that comes out of the end. And again, those I just kind of pluck off. So these will continue to branch off and become its own little vine. And it'll have its own suckers eventually. And it kind of creates, you can see a little baby one right there coming up. So a little bit unnecessary to have that much. So with this big one, some people you'll hear say that they like to cut them off. I don't have time for that. I'm already out here. I just snap it right off. Sometimes it does not snap pretty, and it's a little harder with one hand. I'm holding my camera. But yeah, anyways, I'll finish that when I have both hands. I just rip it off. I don't ever have any problems, and I plant quite a bit of tomatoes. So if perchance something does happen and I accidentally take off too much here and the top of it dies, guess what? If another sucker comes up, you can just let that sucker start becoming the next main vine, which I've done before on tomato plants. And I get just as much production out of those as anything else. So that's their indeterminate or vining tomatoes. Here in the middle of a bunch of other things, I have a bush tomato, and these are the ones that you will put your trellis around. You do not want to prune your bush tomatoes. Let them go, let them do what they're gonna do. The more you prune them, the more you're limiting its production. So just let them go, and you'll have a bumper crop when it comes time for them to ripen. Because bush tomatoes, they will ripen their whole crop at the same time, generally. So they're really good for, like, if you want to make salsas or stews at one time, and you don't want to have a bunch of plants. I love the vinings because I can put a bunch more in the same area and I can have a lot more variety. I've got probably, I can't remember, like 15 varieties in here of tomato because I like the variability. So anyways, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and subscribe if you enjoy what I talk about. Thank you.